Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Aguncha. The Nigerian Senate has increased the 2018 budget figure to 9.1 trillion naira. This is part of the recommendation of the Committee of Appropriations in its report submitted by Senator Danjuma Goje. The original budget spending plan was 8.6 trillion naira. Now, the document submitted in November 2017 was expected to have been passed by January 2018. However, disagreement between the legislature and the executive delayed the passage of the document. Following the submission of the document on Tuesday, the senators are expected to debate on the adjustments between Wednesday and Thursday, with the document expected to be passed this week. The Code of Conduct Tribunal (CCT) has acquitted a Supreme Court judge, Justice Sylvester Nguta, of charges bordering on failure to declare his assets, among other allegations. Nguta was arraigned on a 10-count charge for engaging in private business as a public officer, which is contrary to Section 6, subsection B of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act. However, at the ruling on Tuesday, a two-man panel of the CCT said Justice Nguta cannot be tried in any court or tribunal unless he had been subjected to the probe and punitive processes of the National Judicial Council (NJC). The panel said their decision was based on the Federal High Court of Appeal judgment in the case of Justice Hailadzera Nganjiwa. The court in December 2017 had ruled that by virtue of Section 158 of the 1999 Constitution, only the NJC was with the powers to try judicial officers for any misconduct while in office. Members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria (IMN) in Abuja filed out on Tuesday again to protest a day after the group had a face-off with the Nigeria police. The protest took place in the central area of the city, some few meters from the National Assembly. TV360's Tunji Olanikbekun now reports.
This is the exact location where members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria and the police clashed yesterday, in which a police officer was shot by a yet to be identified person. Surprisingly today, the protesters are out, and they are still demanding for the release of their leader. Now, whenever there is a protest in Abuja by this group, there is tension and apprehension everywhere. People are already apprehensive that there may be breakdown of law and order any moment from now, and people are already closing shops while civil servants are in a hurry to leave their workplace and get home in peace.
It's the police that make everything violence in Nigeria. In every of our protests, when the police are in the absence of the police, we protest and pass the message we want to pass and disperse peacefully. But whenever the police arrive, they cause problem. Like yesterday, we were even cracking jokes with them, playing with them, protesting, sharing our release. But at the end of the protest, they were given order from above. They say it's an order from above to disperse us, and they did what they did yesterday. They vandalized their vehicle, and I heard that they say we are the ones that vandalized the vehicle. You can see our youth tying up something on their head. Since the day the commissioner of police says he has his people inside us with mufti, we decided to give our people tag. So the people you see vandalizing vehicle yesterday are police officers in mufti, and they did what they did. And normally, if you are shooting tear gas, you shoot it on air. But in our own case, the police face us and shoot tear gas in our body. So that is what happened yesterday. They shoot one of their colleagues in mufti, and he was seriously injured. I don't know his whereabouts. So the same language we are speaking is what we are still speaking. The main objectives of our coming out is the freedom of our leader.
Our concern is Sheikh Ibrahim Yaqub al-Zakzaki. They should free our leader. This is only what we can say. They should free our leader. This is the only way of peace. Because without freeing our leader, we will not stop the protest. Because according to what happened yesterday, we didn't do anything to them. They are the ones that come and start pouring hot water on us, tear gassing us, and all of that.
You can see some of our slogans. We are ready to die for Sheikh Zakzaki. So the government is planning to kill the leader. So what we are saying is kill us all before you kill Sheikh Zakzaki. So if they want to kill us, If they are ready to kill, we are ready to die. And we continue protesting, except if they want to kill us all, they should kill us all on the street. They are fond of doing that. They have did such thing in Zaria. They kill more than 1,000 people. They put them in a mass burial without even the concept of their family. They went to Kano, they killed our people, and they went and buried them without informing us. So they still have a lot of bush in Abuja here. They can kill us and bury us. But we can never relent. We keep on protesting. We keep on coming out until the freedom of our leader is granted.
It was a peaceful protest today, and the protesters are already dispersing, but with a promise that they will return again and again and again until their leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, is released by the federal government. From Abuja, Tunji Olanikwekun, TV360 News.
The Chief of Army Staff, Tukur Buratai, has given troops in Beningwari local government area of Kaduna State 3 weeks to flush out bandits in the area. Beningwari has been under constant attack since last year, and 2 weeks ago, over 70 people were killed in Gwaska community, while many houses were burnt down. Following the incessant killings, President Muhammadu Buhari ordered the establishment of an army battalion and a police area command in the district. Addressing troops at the flag-off of the forward operation base tagged Operation Ido Raini, Buratai noted that the Nigerian army would adopt an offensive approach to end the killings. In the northeast, the Nigerian army has announced its troops have killed 2 Boko Haram insurgents during a clearance operation in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. A statement signed by the spokesperson of the Army Anti-Insurgency Operation, Colonel Onyema Nwachukwu, said the troops also destroyed a Boko Haram camp in Gubara. Nwachukwu said the troops successfully detonated 3 improvised explosive devices buried by the insurgents around the Damboa Bridge. The army also revealed that troops rescued 1 hostage from the insurgents during the operation. In Lagos, the State Police Command on Tuesday paraded some suspected cultists and armed robbers arrested within the metropolis, while displaying some of the exhibit recovered from the suspects at the command headquarters in Ikeja. The Commissioner of Police, Imohime Edgo, highlighted how the suspects were apprehended. The police chief reiterated the commitment of the force to stamp out cultism throughout the state, while also appealing to residents to be vigilant and cooperate with the police.
First and very noteworthy is the arrest of notorious cultists and recovery of firearms. On the 9th of May 2018, at about 2300 hours, I received an information that some cultists, who later identified themselves as Aye confraternity members, were located somewhere within Jakonde Estate, Lekki, Lagos. During interrogation, the suspects confessed to be members of the notorious Aye confraternity group, aka the Bed, that have made life a nightmare for the inhabitants of Jakonde Estate and Lekki area of Lagos State. The ringleader of the notorious group, who calls himself Andrew Awalebi, popularly known as the Flying Bird, confessed that he was initiated into the group in 1990 by one Efrebo. He confessed to be a 2-time ex-convict and that he had been charged on different occasions to Ebute Metta Magistrate Court as a result of his involvement in inter-cult-related violence along Ajah-Lekki axis of the states.
The Nigerian Bar Association on Tuesday condemned last Friday's attack on the Rivers State High Court premises in Port Harcourt. The association, in a statement signed by its General Secretary, Isiaka Olagunju, called on the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, to set up a high-powered special investigation team to identify and prosecute the culprits and their sponsors. It comes hours after Monday's call by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogan, for the punishment of the culprits. The National Assembly has summoned Ovie Omoagege, Senator representing Delta Central, and Ali Ndume, Senator representing Borno South, over their alleged roles in the theft of the Senate's maize on April 18, 2018. The lawmakers were summoned following testimonies by the chamber maize keeper and security operatives at the National Assembly. Omoagege is accused of leading 7 thugs into the National Assembly, while Ndume is accused of preventing the maize keeper from guarding the maize. At the resumed hearing of a joint ad hoc committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on Tuesday, the committee chairman Balana Allah said the 2 lawmakers were invited to respond to the allegations leveled against them. Nigerian labor unions have been charged to develop and articulate interventions that would make meaningful and positive impact on the Nigerian workers. The Minister for Labor and Employment, Chris Ngige, made this appeal in Abuja at the preparatory meeting for the 107th session of the conference. Ngige, who was represented at the event by the Director of Human Resources in the ministry, Ajibola Ibrahim, says the ability to arrive at common ground on all interventions would go a long way towards ensuring a successful outing for Nigeria. Other speakers at the event used the opportunity to ask the Nigerian government to implement policies that will ensure workers are treated fairly.
Nigeria's active participation at the 107th session of the ILC is crucial based on the import of items lined up for discussion at the conference, which cut across key aspects of labor administration. It is therefore expedient for Nigeria to develop and articulate interventions that will make meaningful and positive impact on deliberation and decisions that will be taken at the conference. Our ability to arrive at common ground or intervention will go a long way to ensure a successful outing for Nigeria. At this juncture, I wish to draw your attention to the fact that no matter the success we got at the conference, it is our responsibility to make sure that these successes are felt at home. The labor administration system in Nigeria cannot thrive effectively and efficiently with obsolete laws.
So for us as workers, this should be a priority to all of us. And therefore, I will urge all of us to look at the thematic sessions and find where we'll participate and let us work towards having a better outcome. The essence of effective participation is for us to have a better outcome. As rightly said, Nigeria currently has the largest delegation. All over the world, we have the largest delegation going to the ILC. And I think it's important that we're able to effectively fit into the ILC system where we work and participate in various committees.
Another report we present will be looking at violence and harassment against women and men in the world of work. As you know, in recent months, there's been a lot of discussion around this, a lot of cases being highlighted. And being important stakeholders in the workplace, we expect that with this report, you will take or play a keen role into addressing violence and harassments in the workplace, because you basically represent the 3 parties in any workplace: government, workers, and employers.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency is organizing a sensitization workshop on immunization for civil servants. The executive director of the agency, Faisal Shuaib, called for the promotion of government efforts to eliminate all vaccine-preventable diseases in the country. He explained that the new system of management was to ensure adequate distribution of human resources, equipment, availability of drugs, power, water, and other things, with a view to improving efficiency and quality of primary health care services. On his part, the Minister for Health, Isaac Adewale, expressed dissatisfaction at the response rate to immunization in the country, which he placed at 1 out of every 4 children.
But what does success really look like? Success means everybody going back to their community and ensuring that every woman and child is vaccinated against every vaccine-preventable disease. What does success look like? Success is about going to your community and taking out a few minutes to ask questions about how the primary healthcare center in your community is being managed. The primary healthcare center in your community belongs to community members. And as civil servants, there's no iota of doubt about the fact that you are an opinion leader in the community. And you should ask the health workers how they are managing the services in that primary healthcare center. So that primary healthcare services in your community is not something that you look at as government's responsibility, but your responsibility.
When you look across the country, only 1 out of 4 of our children has received the full dosage of the package, and that is unfortunate. Please, we need to start from within. We need, when we visit our respective communities, we need to ask questions. Vaccines are safe. They represent some of the wonders of our time. Safe, cheap, and effective. When you look across our state, I think there's only one state that's scored 80% with respect to coverage. All the others, some less than 10%. And so, you have a duty to prevent our children from dying, you have a duty to make sure they remain healthy, and you have a duty to change the narrative about immunization in Nigeria.
Let's turn our focus to the world of business, coming up right after the break.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
My name is Alero. I am not sick. I just need you to help put your stamp on this medical report. I want to tender it at my office as a sick leave. I'll pay 10,000 naira.
Ma'am, that is impersonation. I'm not a doctor.
Oga, be like say this English no go pay. I go increase the money to 20,000 naira. I beg. You know, if I give you that 20,000, as you wide, so, you know, if it still help your condition more. So, you know, say you spread well.
As I spread like virus, I'll be.
You talk about.
Come out! If person come your hospital, talk to make you give a fake medical report, make you go take collect sick leave. Talk and say, no, not corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Hello, welcome to Business News. I am Esther Vese. Now, according to data released by the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's inflation rate has again slowed to 12.48% in April. This figure is 0.6% higher than the federal government's inflation projection of 12.42% for 2018, as contained in the 2018 to 2020 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. The 2018 budget has also an inflation benchmark of 12.4%. Now, this is the 15th consecutive month of disinflation since January 2017. In other news, the World Bank Group has commended the strategy of the federal government in the implementation of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. The ERGP was launched last year to restore growth by diversifying the economy, stabilizing the macroeconomic environment, investing in infrastructure, and improving the country's business environment, amongst others. The bank says in its latest statement that its executive directors who visited Nigeria to meet up with top officials of the government were encouraged by the growth plan. Now, Nigeria's Minister of Finance has also been speaking on the benefits of the World Bank's visit to Nigeria.
And we continue to be very, very focused on concessional borrowing. Where possible, it's concessional. You saw us today working with the World Bank, wining and dining the executive directors. Yes, we were hosting them, and apparently it's the first time we were told, I think in 27 years, that they've come like this to come and see Nigeria. But what does that give us? It gives us access to a wider pool of concessional money at 1.5%. They've expanded the IBRD window, so there's more money available, and we'll be proposing projects that will enable us to access those concessional long-term money to drive growth and opportunities for Nigerians. And many of the projects they came to see around reconstruction of the Northeast, they're doing budget support operation in Edo State, supporting education, supporting growth. They're supporting Lamata, transport in Lagos State. These are projects that will change infrastructure fundamentally. So that's our strategy. That's why you see us being very friendly to the World Bank. Next week we'll be off to the ADB. We go to all the, anywhere there's concessional money, that's where we go first. And that's also helping to keep our debt costs down and ensure that we take the cheapest possible money to drive our development.
Now, oil prices hit a 3.5-year high on Tuesday, supported by tight supply and planned U.S. sanctions against Iran, which are likely to restrict crude oil exports from one of the biggest producers in the Middle East. Brent crude futures reached $78.28 a barrel, while U.S. crude was 15 cents lower at $70.21 a barrel, which is not far off its highest since November 2014. World oil prices have surged by more than 70% over the last year as demand has risen sharply, but production has been restricted by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries led by Saudi Arabia and other producers, including Russia. The Nigerian Stock Exchange closed the second trading day of the week with the bears dominating the market, recording a total of 4.427 billion naira worth of shares being transacted in 4,090 deals. The oil share index declined by 0.15%, with the market capitalization closing at 14.712 trillion naira. Now, the depreciation in the index today is as a result of the loss reported in the share prices of Zenith Bank, First Bank of Nigerian Holdings, Owando, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Meanwhile, on the bright side of today's loss, Nestle, Nigerian Breweries, Chemical Allied Products, and Ecobank Transnational Incorporated recorded the highest increase in share prices. Now, the banking sector led the top traders chart as Guarantee Trust Bank, UBA, Fidelity Bank, and Zenith Bank accounted for over 50% of the total value of shares traded today. And that's business news. Thank you for watching. We will be back right after this break. Stay tuned.
Corruption not in my country.
Madam, madam, welcome. Okay, madam, no worry. When you deliver the balance, we'll give you the goods.
No problem, no problem. All right, so now well done.
Thank you. Hey, Oga, I still say she don't bring money. Maybe we use this one for her now. She wants mahogany, not white wood.
Oga, our work now to join wood together, deliver whatever to customer. Put the remaining profit for pocket.
This is corruption, not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Glad to have you back. That toll in the Gaza-Israel clash that started on Monday ahead of the U.S. Embassy inauguration in Jerusalem has risen to 60. According to Gaza Health Ministry, most of the 60 Palestinians killed on Monday were shot by Israeli snipers. The toll included a baby who died from tear gas inhalation, along with 8 children under the age of 16. Palestinian authorities report now at least 2,400 others were also wounded in the bloodiest day in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict since the 2014 Gaza war. Hundreds of people have taken part in the funeral in Gaza, which coincides with the 70th anniversary of what Palestinians call the Nakba, which is a mass displacement of Palestinians after Israel's creation. Zimbabwe's public sector workers have rejected an improved salary offer of 15% from President Emerson Mnangagwa's government. The main public sector is demanding wages for the lowest paid employees to more than double. The government agreed last week to raise salaries by 10% for the army, police, and other civil servants from July, when Zimbabwe is expected to hold its first general election since Robert Mugabe left power last year. Apex Council, the union which represents all government workers, said the government's higher offer on Monday was still below the poverty datum line used to assess whether a person is deemed poor. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the release of National Stadium Surulere to Lagos State government for retrofitting and upgrading. This was disclosed by the chairman of Lagos State Sports Commission, Kweku Tando, at a press briefing on Tuesday. Tando said paperwork for the formal handover will begin next week. He also disclosed plans by the Lagos State government to replace artificial turfs at the Teslim Balogun Stadium and Campos Mini Stadium wood with natural grass. He also said remaining seats of Agege Stadium would be covered in addition to the upgrade already done in preparation of the facility for Confederation of African Football matches. Germany's first-choice goalkeeper Manuel Neuer was included in their preliminary World Cup squad on Tuesday, despite having been out of action since September, but World Cup final scorer Mario Götze was left out. The 32-year-old Neuer suffered a broken bone in his foot and only returned to training days ago. Lowe also opted to stick with the experienced Mario Gomez as his second-choice striker behind Timo Werner and picked Freiburg's Neil Peterson ahead of Sandro Wagner. The 30-year-old Wagner has scored 4 goals in his 8 internationals and was part of last year's Confederation Cup winning team. The World Players Union FIFPro says the doping ban that will prevent Peru captain Paulo Guerrero of his long-awaited chance to play at the World Cup is unfair and defies common sense. Guerrero had just completed a 6-month ban after testing positive for cocaine contained in a tea when the Court of Arbitration for Sports increased it to 14 months on Monday. The extended ban imposed after an appeal to CAS by the World Anti-Doping Agency means the 34-year-old will mix next month's World Cup, where Peru have qualified for the first time in 36 years. FIFPro said in a statement that it wanted an urgent meeting with global soccer body FIFA to review the anti-doping rules in the sport. For that, it's on News Now. You can watch some of our other programs on our website at www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also watch us on Facebook at facebook.com/TV360online, and you can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TV360Nigeria. We are also live on YouTube at youtube.com/TV360Nigeria, and we are also on Google+, and our handle is TV360Nigeria. Thank you very much for watching. I am Fidelia Aguncha. Bye for now.